All right, so I'm gonna walk through like quick way of just standing up Blazor Aspire in .NET 9. I haven't used it yet, and I don't want to complicate things with Redis because just let's start with no test. I don't want to test anything. I just want to stand up something. It didn't give me an option for authentication. Sometimes in the Blazor apps they they'll say, do you want to auth with this or that? But let's just see. Okay, so it's pretty cool if people haven't seen Aspire. It's like in 2024, Microsoft they're like, okay, this is our focus. And microservices, UI front end. It's like they had a project Tye, that evolved essentially into this. It's what I believe. So if I just say run the app host, now if you got a front end, right, a back end, and maybe like a bunch of other Azure functions, you want them to communicate. This is when you run a .NET project and it'll bring up Swagger for the API. That's replaced with essentially Aspire is more of a dev tool microservice Swagger that you can see. Request came here and it went all the way here. It's like dev tools maxed out for microservices, and this template is customizable, so you can actually host this online and internally or something, so you can actually see all your different platforms. It's also very customizable for, let's say you don't even want to use .NET stuff, you can weave stuff in. So we have just starting it, it's oh, where's my Blazor or where's my web app, right? Just I see this stuff, but it gives you the API here, right, and the web, so you can go to the API, and I'm not sure if it's something like that, or something like this, if I could spell. Try and do all my videos in one take, so it's not edited to suit social media's preferences. So if it's boring and I ramble, well, that's me. This is really me kind of thing. So if I hit the web front end, so this is what you kind of expect. You see a lot. Eventually they'll probably change this template to be something more modern, right? Okay, so that's the front end. And what else do we have in here? Some logs, right, from the, it's pretty cool. So you don't actually need to have a terminal open and all that stuff. Then this is the kind of cool thing where you can see, if I can clear this, it does get destroyed when you restart, but you can have long-term storage that works with open telemetry and Azure insights of where you store the stuff. But if you look here, it says API service now listening here, and where you'll see, okay, let's see here. If I go to weather, it should show, maybe I'll go off. Oh, the traces I think makes more sense. Okay, so the weather one, we want to go to the one that's most recent, timestamp probably down here, I guess, 150. Okay, so when I said get weather, it called the front end, right? Then, sorry, the front end called the weather, said get, and then so this says outgoing call, so I clicked the button, I clicked here, then the page load, and it knew that this component here needed an API call, right? So then at that point, it calls, hey, get weather API. And then from here, I guess page load, or well, I don't know which one of these. This one is the one that will return the response. And you can see, what did it give back? Does it say value? It should actually show the, not sure where it is. Split horizontally. This is out of the box, right? This is one of the reasons why you go to why should I use C# over or Blazor or Microsoft over what I'm used to? I'm this is pretty good for how long did it take to just, I've added no code and this is what you get, I think it's pretty good. I contextually don't know what else is out there for other platforms, like, but I do know that there's like Prometheus and all these other log UI aggregator kind of things, but pretty good for doing nothing. Context, I don't know exactly. Anyhow, it's somewhere in here. Feel silly for not being able to see it, but metrics, you can create different metrics. Let's say you wanted a count of this event or count of that event. Don't really have a good example, but they do have built-in ones. So if you're looking at is P.NET Core routing, and then this is the match attempts, you can see that when maybe we can trick it by giving it some stuff like that. See if that comes up here. Maybe it's not the same thing. This is match attempts, but yeah, you get it. And it's kind of live because it goes through like a ticker, like a stock thing. You get a table, you know. It's almost a shame it kind of dies when you like stop debugging. So it hopefully, you know, it's so nice you want it to stay around kind of thing, right? But you can push it somewhere, right? So anyhow, so that's Aspire. And so let's make a change and see if what's it called? Hot reload works. So I'm going to go here and into the Blazor. This is the API one. This is the web one. We're going to go into components. And like for C# developers that don't want to learn Angular, Vue, and React, like how easy is it to like get started with a front end framework? Like you just need to know C# and like loop through things and write divs and stuff, right? It's pretty approachable. So if I go into pages and let's say home, this is the one we have like, hello world, welcome to your new app. Maybe I'll just say like this, and then I'll say, hello YouTube. And then, so I'm not sure if there's any classes that we can add on the fly here, but I'll say padding top 4. I'm not sure if it has Bootstrap or not, but I'm gonna hit save and see how this thing is dark, and it's gonna come back in a sec, and it will tell me if it succeeded, which looks like it did. Go back here. So that's pretty cool. So I didn't have to stop debugging. I could have had breakpoints, all that. Now this is all server side. There's no like WebAssembly or client side at all. It assumes you have a server. And now what I'm gonna do is just for the sake of this video is deploy it. Because like literally a single video, no editing, that is it possible to go through it, explain it, and now host it like in Azure somewhere. So let's go right click and let's go to publish. And I don't know how to publish Aspire, so hopefully this works. Normally publish is at the top, but let's just say we want to do this. Publish on the app host. Okay, so this one was not added. Okay, so follow link. We need to add AZD or the Azure Developer CLI. We're going to go to Windows and let's do this. You can do chocolatey. I don't know for people that are watching. I'm not sure if any of that makes sense, but what you take one of these scripts and install, I think. So I'm going to go here and then I'm going to right click on. I'm going to right click on the start menu, which you can't see, and then go to terminal admin and then just right click and paste that command. Now, if the Visual Studio, developer command prompt doesn't come up, it'll be PowerShell or command something, hopefully. Hopefully this works. If not, try a different command from that website. And then it'll say, hey, do you want to do all? Yeah, I guess if it's from Microsoft, you're probably good to trust it if you know that it is actually from them. Not in an email, not in a phone call. Cool. So now let's get out of here. I wonder if we can go back in here and see if we can do this. Go to publish. And might have to close it and reopen it, but let's do that. Close and reopen. And just try to publish it now. Assuming you have like an Azure account, you know, if you want to be on the bleeding edge with stuff like Aspire and it's 2024, probably they don't have a lot of other. So we're going to deploy a container, I guess. So we're going to say description Azure, sure. Environment location can be empty. Let's see if Authenticator comes up. It definitely did. Just set up my custom branding at this Azure tenant. Now if I can remember my password. Great. Now I gotta go to Skateboarding. I think everyone in existence absolutely hates passwords. Like, you want to do some work? Let's just take an hour to log into things. No problem. All right, we're good to go. Gonna hit that authenticator. Type in the top secret thing. It's always good to use authenticator or something. So sign into this. Sure, okay, that's okay. It's a computer I use on this. Hold on while we do a bunch of stuff. Okay, done. Hopefully you're good. You know, if you're not good, then I'm going to switch back to something else. Let's go back to this. Go back to this. Let's see if it's good. Make sure you're logged in. So there's good. Okay, so now we have it, and we're going to say Canada because that's where I am. Environment name, and we'll say. Should do this. Like, honestly, like the marketing potential is huge for Aspire. Instead of like writing it like this, Aspire, they should write like this, as. By the time you watch this video, that domain will be taken, so don't even think about it. Anyways, Aspire, because Azure, obviously. Finish. Right, automatically close when succeeded. I like how they clean up their mess. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so far so good. And refreshing environment and Aspire. And this is like OG is like publish, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't publish with the publish button. I guess that's how they sound. I use CI/CD pipelines, but like sometimes the easiest way to just get something out is like just doing stuff like that, right? Like we can't forget about why these like nice features were put in to begin with, is to save time and energy, not to add a whole bunch of code, because less is more sometimes, right? So yeah, I have Rui from Written Pixel here. So yeah, hey Rui, like so far, what do you think? Like pretty easy so far? Just like put out an API.
Yeah. So far seems pretty easy, pretty intuitive.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try it.
So yeah, it's. What do you think about that cool website that like popped up? Do you think it'd be useful? Like it's like where things started, where it ended. You can kind of see where the traps are.
Yeah. It's kind of like the developer tools, right?
Yeah.
Except a little more nicer to look.
Yeah.
To look at.
So ready to publish, and so can we do it? Let's do it. Error. Your computer needs upgraded to a new RTX. You know that they just announced RTX like 50, 80 kind of thing, like or they're about to, or it's leaked, but
so it'll drop the price of the
oh yeah, that's true.
4000 series.
Yeah, that's true actually. For people that are 2024 Christmas time trying to get a computer, might want to wait. Publish has encountered an error. All right, why? Okay, because Aspire is not available in Canada. Oh, Canada Central. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Copy. Now we're going to try again. We're going to go here. Location, environment. Overview. Gotta go to more actions. So it's saying that it can't do it because why? Location not available for deployment. And but I picked Canada. I just want to see that. Oh, you know what we should do is just take this and just go copy, and we're gonna go to GitHub Copilot and just say and they have a feature now if you have the paid GitHub Copilot where you can change the model. Check out how cool this is. You can change it to like Claude. Like how that's pretty cuspy, like on the cusp of whatever. Here's an example of the blah blah blah. Okay, that's fine. So can I change the thing here? Oh, you know what? I bet you can. So if you go into Solution Explorer, it probably added something, right? Let's see here. Nothing's there. Nothing here. Okay, we go to Properties Launch Site, probably here. And we're looking for something that says like Canada or something. Nope, and let's say here. Nope. And okay, so because it's not there, what we'll do is start a new publish. Okay, and I want to say new environment. I'm sure it's a button there that I just can't, see, but good. Location. And we want to pick Canada Central. There we go. Okay. And please, hopefully the name's there. Sometimes.
Sounds cool, Pilot, if it knows a way to change the.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's deploying here. I will do that. Location. So that's a great idea. So it's going to do that. And I want to say, try Sonnet. Well, Sonnet might not know. Okay, so how to change the location name in Aspire publish profile. To change. Okay, so it says there, properties publish profiles. Okay, I wonder if it's, what we have to do is go here and then say add existing item. It might be a hidden item where you can't really see it. We're going to go into this one and properties. That's launch settings. I don't see it anywhere. Could be here. Okay. So now we want to do this one. Sure, do both. What I want to do is close this. actually we could get that. I need it from here. Cut, undo. See, that's some noggin usage. Config, nothing. Okay, so go close, go here, and then go to publish. Change it back to the other one. Is this one? Yes. Cool. And now, Canada Central. We don't need to do that. Publish. Compiling your project. Deploying. You remember Command and Conquer?
Mm-hmm.
I love it was like when it was like I think loading a new game. Oh, it was installing from MS-DOS.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like it does all these like it's like a loader that says each part, but it would read these out kind of thing in like a cool like creating and updating resources complete, and that was just like. But hopefully, if you look here, you can view the detailed progress. So I'm going to click here and copy this. This is not the web browser I need, because for each different persona kind of thing or company user account, I use a different web browser. I'm sure there's a million different ways to optimize that, but I have not found a good way to. But I use Chrome for anything for YouTube. So hopefully this has everything logged in-ish. Okay, so we're here in Azure. It's a top secret place. And it's still kind of going here. And we're gonna wait. That's good. Operation details, go here. And so it made a managed identity. I don't know, it might be done. What we got here? Okay, so still going here. Yeah, it always wants to open with your default browser, right? Now, we can leave it up. But if you think about it, if we leave it up, it's just going to cost money. These are containers, these are servers, right? I'll probably park it, like turn it off. And then, but how easy was that? Like you're literally in prod?
Yeah.
So, looks like we're good. It's going to probably finish off saying, here's your link, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If I can just get this link to open with Chrome. In a perfect world, it'd be a little bit faster. But they're still a lot better than they were. Okay, so still going here, and what else we got? Okay, so it's doing a bunch of other things. So now it's doing the container apps environment. So it did log, analytics, container registry, manage identity. Do you know about manage identity, Rui? Have you heard of that?
I have.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to think of like everything in Azure, AWS, or GCP or Google Cloud Platform is like its own individual addressable entity. Like even a password could be its own little billable thing. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating and also frustrating because it creates a lot of little objects sometimes. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, not going to edit, but for the sake of the audience, I will pause the video and return when it's done. All right, so it looks like it's done, but let's just go to next steps. Go to your subscription. Probably not. We're going to go here. See, I moved over CodePlay, but I didn't actually move the stuff yet, but in the progress, this is the only one I did so far. But if you go to, let's say, refresh, no, that's recent, home, I want to say all resources, okay, and then the one, you see this, the free Azure SQL, that the name I came up with for the dark SDR tenant is Eclipsify, okay, and then check this one out, the blob, the like cold storage or hot swap blob storage of dark matter.
Nice.
It's good. Fuck. That's the first time I revealed the ancient secrets. But yeah, man, I like it. So let's see. And if you think it's cool, and my mom thinks it's cool, then pretty much good to go, right? Okay, so let's go into container environment. I think container environment's synonymous to like a Kubernetes thing rolled out by, Microsoft. But then we have, what's up? This one, but it only has one, which is weird. And if we look here, under, okay, this is literally one of them. How can, oh, right here, application. Okay, this container is stopping. Okay, so it's probably still going here because if I go back to this guy, and we go to output here. Okay, so it did finish that, obviously, yeah. And then deploying web front end. Oh my gosh, here we are, and we get the dashboard too. Oh my gosh, like that's pretty cool. I feel like I'm being overly dramatic and reactive to like manipulate the YouTube algorithm, but that's not. It's easy to fall into that trap sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Playing to the. I wish you didn't rank up on Google based on popularity. I wish it was based on like just content or something, but yeah, because then if you do something really bad on YouTube and that goes viral, that's like you make money. It just seems wrong, right? So don't want to hold your attention. If it's not helpful, then yeah. But hopefully it is to someone. So here and now, here. If we refresh. All right, so now we have container app. Are we still going here? Okay, so this one here, copy. That's what I kind of want. Pretty good. So that's live,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, okay.
So if I wanted to set a custom domain for that, like, okay, so this one I assume is going to be, okay, now if we can get to here, we're good because it changed these.
Right.
So if we go to there, yeah, that makes sense. And this one, okay, so what I'm thinking is it works, and yes, it does, because it wouldn't be able to call the weather without it. And when we go to that one and we click the API, that makes sense because it's not exposed, let's say, to the outside world.
Right.
Let's just assume without looking into it that our APIs are secure. No, that's not really, you should actually look into it, but that's pretty good. Yeah, and then if we go to traces on it, we get, and if we started and stopped it, let's say it's volatile or not volatile, whatever that word means, like it is destroyed upon rebooting the computer thing, then yeah, you can go into that and do what's next. So it's good. Open in the Azure portal, which is again the wrong browser. Sorry about that. We know it's good. Now, just to, I guess, wrap it up. When you're on here and you go to all resources in Azure, and let's say, for example, in the container for apps environment, you can go to custom DNet suffix, or under here, you have your two, right? So if you want the web front end to have a custom domain instead of this thing, let's see if that works. Okay, right, cool. And you can actually, let's say, stop it and go back and go to this one and go to the Aspire dashboard. You should see, look, the web front end is starting. That's kind of phony baloney because I did stop it. But let's restart it and just see if it automatically will update without us refreshing. So I did hit start, and we're going to see if there's signal R and stuff to like refresh it. Let's assume, okay, here. I don't think so. Pending, let's refresh it. No, okay. Oh, honestly, now we can't tell. Well, let's say that there could be signal. Anyhow, it's pretty friggin' amazing. So if you wanted to add, last thing here, if you wanted to add a custom domain, go down here to custom domains and add, and you get two options. If you have the domain already, you could bring, for the certificate, this is a whole other video, right? Certificates. The domain, if you have it in Azure, if not, you'll walk through the process to add, validate, etc. But yeah, then you can have my custom cool, the name of this YouTube video could be that domain, something like that, right?
Right.
But
do they issue you free SSL certificates if yours does not have one?
Great question. I know that on Azure Static Web Apps they do, and they automatically renew it internally with whatever, and you never pay. So you never pay, like if you're paying for an SSL certificate, you probably shouldn't be. Like if you're paying for an antivirus software, probably shouldn't be unless it's a corporation that you have like a lot of different endpoints you manage and stuff. But there's free options out there that are just as valid for authoritative certificate issuing authorities. But I don't know yet, but you bring your own certificate, manage, add certificate later. That's scary as heck. Domain, we're going to say, we'll say Aspire. And then it will say, hey, add these two things here. Now, if I hit validate, it probably won't work because I got to go over there and do it. But like, pretty awesome. Anyhow, thanks, Rui, for sitting with me to go through this. Like 30 minutes of how to you can actually get a full-blown thing out there. That easy. 30 minutes. And yeah, it's a pretty cool tool. Thanks for hanging out, and see you guys next time.